Hello and welcome to the Red Letter Newsletter. If you want more grace and more Jesus, make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. What is it that you missed in the most famous verse in all the Bible? John 3:16. Everyone can quote it. It's on scripture cards, it's on your refrigerator, and it's in Sunday school. But here is the bombshell truth. Most people don't realize Jesus actually explains your salvation 2 verses earlier, and when he does, he points to one of the weirdest scripture stories in all of the Old Testament: a snake on a pole. That's right, a bronze serpent lifted up, and Jesus tells us this story explains the cross. So though John 3:16 may be beloved and quoted everywhere, Jesus didn't start with John 3:16. Let's read verses 14 and 15. It says, "And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." So why would Jesus compare himself to a snake, to a serpent? That takes us all the way back to Numbers chapter 21. Picture it. The people have been wandering. Bellies are growling. Attitudes are firing up. And it comes to a head, and God's people in the middle of the desert make and bring an accusation against the King of Heaven that we are hungry and we want to go back to Egypt. So God has freed them from Egypt. They're wondering. He has been giving them manna. For 40 years, he has provided the bread of heaven. They start complaining. They start bringing charges against God. And then all of a sudden, God brings fiery serpents into the camp of the complainers. The fiery serpents begin biting people. Snakes are writhing around, people falling to the ground. And in the middle of death, they cry out to Moses. Moses cries out to God, and then all of a sudden, God gives him a command that we read about here in John 3:14 and 15, and that is, the command was, Moses was to make a bronze serpent and to lift it up, and anyone who looked upon the serpent that was raised up was healed. It didn't matter how many times they were bitten. It didn't matter how dumb they thought the idea was. All they had to do was look. They sinned. They had the poisonous vipers come. They were dying. And God did not give them a 12-point plan to behave better, but he gave them a place to look. This is where grace comes in, because guess what? They were healed by looking. Not fixing themselves, not taking out their toolbox, not earning relief, but looking in faith, no matter what their record said. And so how does Jesus connect that to the cross? Well, just like the serpent was lifted up, the bronze serpent, Jesus would be lifted up on that cross. And just like Israel, all they had to do was look. All you have to do and I have to do is to look to the cross in faith. So are you trying to behave your way out of spiritual poison? Are you trying to fix yourself before looking at Jesus? Do you believe that healing comes from striving or trusting? Are you sitting in your sorrow and depression because you feel like you're not good enough? Well, guess what? The good news is that Jesus was good enough. And just like those Israelites writhing in pain on the ground, all they had to do was look. All we have to look is to Jesus. The Israelites didn't survive by fighting the snakes. They survived by what? Fixing their eyes on the cure. And the salvation of Jesus still works the same way today. So in John 3:16, what does it say? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Are you not thankful that grace doesn't require your resume? Are you not thankful that grace doesn't require a background check, a credit score, a relationship history? All you have to do, and that is why verses 14 and 15 are the most important verses for the context of John 3:16, because what does it prove? It proves that the grace that Jesus offers has no conditions except the one who will accept it, offer it, and turn his life over to Jesus Christ. So the weirdest, strangest story in all of Scripture is one that gives us the greatest hope that you can ever hope for. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can get your weekly dose of grace from your grace dealer and the good news of Jesus Christ. Have a great day.